Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Langer at the Mic Live. This Cowboys post-game show here on Langer at the Mic Live, a couple hours later than maybe than usual, because I was on a very special trip and for the weekend, and I still watched the game, but was not able to do my post-game show right after. But anyway, the Cowboys first win of the season, man. Just like last year in Week 2, the Dallas Cowboys win on a game-winning field goal off the leg of Greg Zuerlein. Once again, I'm going to argue that they maybe won a game that they should have lost. But you know what? They full credit to the Cowboys for winning this game, for taking advantage of the opportunities that they had against I don't want to say a great Chargers team, but a good up and coming Chargers team that will, with Herbert and with Keenan Allen and everything that they have going there with the rookie head coach and all that, they're gonna be a tough out this year. And they won, I think, like, what was it, 4 or 5 of their last games of the last like 4 or 5 games of the season last year. Yeah, so full marks to the Cowboys for the win today, even though honestly, again, felt like they deserved to lose. It felt like both teams deserved to lose. It felt like both teams were doing everything they could to make it difficult on themselves and to eventually just shoot themselves in the foot and not make it easy. But again, the Cowboys took advantage of the opportunities they had and did what they had to do to win. Again, no style points, but who cares? Wins are more important than style points anyway. Um, yeah, just honestly, again, I didn't really have the chance to write notes on the game, but I wrote notes. I watched the highlights again to remind myself of what happened. I wrote a bunch of notes while I was watching the highlights. So anyway, I'm just gonna go right into it. Usually I've been improv these, but today, just because it's late, I'm just gonna read my notes real quickly. So, like I said, Chargers 2 touchdowns wiped away by penalty. The one to Mike Williams, the one to Jared Cook wiped away by penalties, and also not to mention a handful of third down conversions. The Chargers on the game total, what was it? 12 penalties. 12 penalties for 99 yards. Cowboys 8 for 76 yards. And then also the Azur Kamara and Terrell Basham miscue on special teams, which we'll get to in a little bit. I forget who exactly got called for the roughing the kicker, but you can't do that. I just was livid when that happened. But anyway, the way we're going to break this down, I'm going to talk about the good and the bad, or what I loved and did not love of this game. Keep it simple for tonight, and then call it a night. So to start with the things that I did love, Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard. But I should have probably mentioned Tony Pollard first, because Pollard ran for 109 yards on 13 carries, 8.4 on average with a touchdown. By the way, Cowboys also first opening drive touchdown in 21 games. And also, this is the first time that the Cowboys beat the Chargers back when they're in San Diego, LA Chargers, since week 1 of 2005, which was a 28-24 win. So a couple of firsts on the afternoon for the Cowboys today. But yeah, just going back to Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott, I loved what the Cowboys were doing in the run game after managing only, 36 yards last week. Just pulling it up real quick. 33 yards for Zeke, 14 for Pollard, 13 for Dak. So a total of, 47 plus 13, 67 yards, let's say, on the ground last week. This week, they went for 198 rushing yards. So, but again, the surprise was that it came from Tony Pollard. And I hate to say it, but I think Tony Pollard is making a case that he is a better player than Ezekiel Elliott. I know Zeke, don't get me wrong. Zeke, with the pass blocking that he did in week 1, Zeke with the clutch third down catch that he made early on the drive late in the game. But in terms of just carrying the ball and what they have to offer in terms of efficiency, Tony Pollard is getting the job done more efficiently than Zeke is in terms of running the ball. And yeah, just the numbers speak to themselves. So, and also Pollard had 3 receptions for 31 yards. Zeke had 2 for 26, but again, he did have the clutch third down grab on 3rd and I want to say 6. late in the fourth quarter on the game-winning drive. But yeah, running game was great. A lot of that was due to the fact that Zach Martin and Tyron Smith did a tremendous job, although Tyron Smith got beat, which led to a strip sack fumble on Dak in the fourth quarter. But how often do we hear Joey Bosa's name this afternoon? How often? Not much. So honestly, I was scared to death of Terrence Steele and Joey Bosa. I was scared to death of that matchup, as I mentioned in the show that I did before the game on Friday night. But credit the offensive line for just paving the way for the Cowboys and their running game for Zeke and Tony Pollard, because they did a phenomenal job. I also like going for it on fourth down. Now, the Cowboys went for it on fourth down in the first quarter, which they initially did not convert on, but they took advantage of a pass interference penalty. I think that led to their first touchdown. It was like 4th and 1 or 4th and 2 from like the 40-yard line, and they went for it, and that's really good. And I like how Mike McCarthy is going for it on fourth downs, just like pretty much all NFL coaches are, except for Joe Judge and Jason Garrett. But yeah, just I like to see the Cow. And even they went for it on fourth down again with where it was 4th and 6 again at the 45-yard line. They try to pass to the right, to the outside to Amari Cooper, but I think there was a PI there on Asante Samuel Jr., who had his first career interception, of course, and who I pointed out thinking that he'd have a really good game tonight, and he did have a good game this afternoon. But overall, yeah, they made the stop there on fourth down, but ultimately the Cowboys made enough plays to win this game. But also, just again, I like the idea of going for it on fourth down. Now the defense. Honestly, the way the Cowboys played defense today was just really, really odd. This whole game was odd, honestly. It was weird. Just like week 1, I guess. Feels like that's the norm for Cowboys games nowadays. But yeah, the Cowboys gave up chunk play after chunk play, multiple 3rd and long conversions. Herbert had 338 yards passing. And what was it on third downs? Chargers were, I thought it was worse. 5 for 12 on third downs. Cowboys were 6 for 10 on offense. But there were just so many plays where it just felt like the Cowboys were just getting gashed, both in the passing game and the running game. They held up quite a bit also. I mean, Eckler, 54 yards on 9 rushing attempts. Jackson, 21 on 4. Roundtree, -1 on 1. But again, it felt like the Chargers on 3rd and longs. The Cowboys got the Chargers in a lot of 3rd and long situations. But overall, the defense only gave up 1 touchdown. Like, yeah, they had the 2 called back by penalty, but only 1 touchdown given up by the defense. And it felt like they didn't play well. But what they did do is they turned the ball over again. After the 3 turnovers that they forced last week at Tampa, you had Trayvon Diggs with another unreal interception. I mean, the one last week was the tip-off Leonard Fournette, but in this game, he undercut the route on Keenan Allen, made a great play to take the ball away. Cowboys haven't had a corner like that in a while. Byron Jones, no disrespect to Byron Jones, who, despite no interceptions in 2018, was an all-pro that year, because quarterbacks won't even look his way because that's how locked in he was on his man. But Trayvon Diggs in his second year already with 5 interceptions in 14 games. Trayvon Diggs is exciting. Trayvon Diggs is good. And Cowboys haven't had a ball hawking. You can call Trayvon Diggs a ball hawk, I think, at this point. I think it's fair to say that, right? Cowboys haven't had that type of corner in time. But that's Trayvon Diggs for you. Also, Jaron Kearse. No Donovan Wilson, no Randy Gregory, no DeMarcus Lawrence. Am I missing anyone? Obviously, no Michael Gallup, no La'el Collins on offense, but I really like the way Jaron Kearse played today. He just, both in the run game, and support in the run game, also in coverage, he stepped up for Donovan Wilson, plain and simple. He was all around the ball. And even he had a near miss, an almost sack, which led to a long 3rd down conversion on the Chargers, but he was good today. He was really, really good today, Jaron Kearse, and he's proving to be a very valuable signing. Also, of course, DeMonte KZ, 2 interceptions, two turnovers forced, including obviously the one in the end zone through 2 games as a Dallas Cowboy, one of Dan Quinn's guys. Micah Parsons, they played him at edge, both on the left side and the right side. Here's the thing. He had a couple of almost sacks. He was pressuring Justin Herbert on a couple of occasions. But I will say this. If you put Micah Parsons on a guy like Rashawn Slater just ate Micah Parsons alive for breakfast. Yeah. Whatever you want to, you just look, whatever expression you want to use. Micah Parsons didn't have a chance on Rashawn Slater. And obviously, I've been very vocal about the fact the Cowboys took Micah Parsons over Rashawn Slater. And Micah Parsons has to make us forget that the Cowboys could have had Rashawn Slater. But against Storm Norton, Micah Parsons, that's where he got his opportunities. That's where he made the most of his pass rushing opportunities as a defensive end. So, no DeMarcus Lawrence, no Randy Gregory. I like what Dan Quinn did with Micah Parsons in terms of putting him out on the edge. Just, I like the matchup. I feel like if you put him on the edge against Rashawn Slater, you're eliminating what Micah Parsons can do on a given play, because at that point, you might as well put him as a linebacker and have him cover or have him run downhill to stop the run and be like on the second level instead of on the edge. But if you're going to put him against Storm Norton, where he's quicker, faster, maybe stronger, maybe not stronger than someone who's 300 plus pounds, but quicker, faster, more agile, and can beat Storm Norton and create pressure and win his battle against a tackle like Storm Norton, then I like that. I like that usage of Micah Parsons there. And even Jalen Smith, I find, had a pretty good game. He's been he's been the whipping boy, obviously, for the last 3 seasons on the Cowboys defense, particularly last year. But without, again, DeMarcus Lawrence, Randy Gregory, and Micah Parsons having to play on the edge, Jalen Smith had to play quite a few more snaps today. And Leighton Vander Esch obviously got the sack, first sack of the year. But Jalen Smith, I found he played a pretty decent game. He did not, at least to my knowledge yet, because I haven't seen the All-22 or gifts of the All-22 on Twitter yet. But to my knowledge, Jalen Smith didn't have any plays where he was like, he just completely chose the wrong gap and the play went the opposite direction and he got burned. Like, sure, okay, he maybe made some tackles 5-6 yards on a run beyond the line of scrimmage or beyond the first down marker. He gave up some plays, but nothing backbreaking because he chose the wrong gap or took a wrong angle and just was caught in quicksand because he fell for eye candy. So he played the linebacker position pretty well today, I found, and especially on a 3rd and 11, the way he defended Jared Cook late. It was on the first Chargers drive of the 3rd quarter, I want to say, where they settled for a field goal. So that was a nice pass breakup there by Jalen Smith. And like I said, defense, they gave up a lot of yards in the passing game, especially, but they took the ball away and somehow did not give up more than 1 touchdown. It felt like it because the Chargers had 2 touchdowns overruled by penalty, but yeah. And also, with that being said, the Cowboys, after the non-call on Michael Gallup last week, after the non-call on Chris Godwin, which could have been OPI on Jordan Lewis, after the Michael Gallup offensive pass interference last week against the Rams in week 1. And you can say, look, in any given game, any given sport, the officiating goes both ways, whether it's the way they throw flags or the way they call penalties in hockey, whether the strike zone in football, the fouls in basketball. But in this game, as a Chargers fan, don't get me wrong, if I'm a Chargers fan, I am really upset about the officiating and Tony Corrente. But as a Cowboys fan, we have had so many games where the Cowboys have just been like on the wrong end of calls at big times or big points in the game. Not to say that those are the reasons why they lost those games, but at least the Cowboys were on the right side of all these penalties and not the wrong side, except when, now we'll get into what I did not love, the Azor Kamara and Terrell Basham play on 4th and 20. It's 4th and 20. Let them punt the ball. If you can just even put just the returner out there. I mean, yeah, if it's 4th and 20, they could still maybe go for a drop, a screen pass if it's 11-on-1. And yeah, sure, if you leave just CeeDee Lamb or Cedric Wilson back there as a returner. But how you cannot, to me, I never understood roughing the kicker penalties. Why you would be stupid enough. Okay, sorry, I understand but it's unacceptable because, yeah, Azor Kamara made the team. Great story on Hard Knocks. Makes the team. Also, Terrell Basham stepping in for DeMarcus Lawrence wants to show up, make a play, earn the coach's respect, earn Bones, John Fossil's respect, and Mike McCarthy and Auden Dirty, whatever. They want to earn their coach's respect to make a play. But if it's 4th and 20 and you've just forced the first punt of the game, I think there was one punt in the game. Is that right? Yeah. I think that there was one punt the Chargers had, and that got called back by penalty because of roughing the kicker. That cannot happen. That is unacceptable. And to me at that point, just let the punter just punt the ball away. Even if he pins you inside the 1 yard line, at least you have the football. The chances of that are, let's give some punters credit. Could happen. Happens often enough where they can flip field position like that. But still, roughing the kicker on 4th and 20, unacceptable. Azor Kamara, unacceptable. Terrell Basham. Forgot exactly who was guilty on that play specifically, but they were both involved in roughing the kicker. And that can't happen. Play on 3rd downs. As I mentioned, Chargers only 5 for 12 on 3rd downs, but then again, there were too many 3rd and longs that were converted. 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15, where Herbert just either ran for it or just it felt like too many times the Cowboys gave up plays on 3rd downs. Real quick, pass rush, not consistent enough. And I think that's what led to those 3rd and longs. That the pass rush with Micah Parsons was okay. Osa flashed a couple of times. Lane Van Der Esch got the sack, but it was not consistent enough, and that's what led to the 3rd and long conversions. The grounding call at the end there, I personally don't agree with that. Even if it was on Justin Herbert, as a Cowboys fan, we take that, but I don't agree with that call because Justin Herbert, sure, he's backpedaling. I guess the rule is that he was backpedaling and he couldn't throw it away because he was backpedaling, or I don't know. Like, I just know that he was outside the numbers. He had scrambled outside the numbers and got the ball away, and he got called for intentional grounding to lose 18 yards on the play. I don't love that call, but again, the Cowboys have been on the wrong ends of a lot of calls as well, so it is what it is, and the Cowboys have to take it. And I ain't feeling sorry for the Chargers. So, because again, too many times the Cowboys have been on the wrong ends of those calls as well. I did not love the pass game. I found Dak today was more clutch than he was good. Week 1, Dak was great, picking apart the vaunted Tampa front 7, finding their weak spots in the secondary. I did not love the passing game this afternoon. Obviously, loved the run game, but the sack, let's once again where Dak takes a sack that costs 3 points. This one was in the 3rd quarter where they ended up having to punt because Dak took a sack on 3rd down, which pushed them out of field goal range. Play calling was great in the 1st quarter, but after that it was again in terms of the pass game. And Dak obviously had the interception, which was not great. The interception he threw last week initially looked like it was more on him, and also was a bit of an aggressive throw on 1st down, but he put it right on CeeDee Lamb's hands. This one was in the area of Cooper and CeeDee Lamb. He looked confident when throwing it, but it wasn't really intended for anyone. So that was on Dak there. And the weird formation they tried where they did a screen to Tony Pollard to the left side with Connor Williams, Zach Martin, and Tyron Smith, I think, all on the left side to isolate Joey Bosa. I like the idea, but then they tried again to CeeDee Lamb on the right side, but Derwin James just sniffed it out, and that just basically killed the Cowboys' drive. I think it was the 2nd down play calls. If I remember correctly, I think it was the 2nd down play calls that I did not love, which kind of put the Cowboys in some tough 3rd down positions. But again, I will say this. Dak made 2 great throws on 3rd downs on the last drive to Zeke and Amari Cooper. Thankfully, Amari Cooper was okay after he seemed to have been shaken up on that big catch in the 4th quarter there. But yeah, passing game needs to be better to beat better teams than the Chargers. Chargers, again, good, solid, up-and-coming team. But to beat better teams than the Chargers, passing game has to be better. What I enjoyed about Mike McCarthy's game management at the end, I love the idea of having to kill the clock. And not giving the ball back to Justin Herbert, just like they did with Tom Brady last week. I love the idea of killing the clock, but I did not love the idea of making it maybe a little bit more tough for Greg Zuerlein than it had to be, because he did have to kick a 56-yard field goal, which one of those things I obviously love. Greg Zuerlein redemption for after he did redeem himself also last week with the go-ahead field goal, or the go-ahead field goal with a minute plus left before obviously the Bucs came back and won, drove down the field and kicked the game-winning field goal. But the missed extra point, the two missed field goals, one of them being 60 plus yards. Greg Zuerlein nailing the 56-yard attempt was essentially was the exclamation point which allowed the Cowboys to win this game. So he deserves a lot of love for that as well. And all week we were saying this, I expect this to be a much higher scoring game. And early on, it looked like it with the way the offenses were moving the ball. But with the turnovers, with the penalties, that's what made this game a 20-17 game instead of a 37-30 game or something even crazier than that. But yeah, also, of course, there was a crazy play by Ezekiel Elliott, or the play at the end of the half where it was a bit of a short pass to CeeDee Lamb, who took it from the Cowboys, I want to say 40 from the Chargers 40 all the way down to like the 15-yard line, and then reversed it to Zeke, who then took it to the 2-yard line. That's 2 games in a row where right before the half, the Cowboys have a chance with the ball to score a touchdown on a Hail Mary, or a reverse Hail Mary, if you want to call it that. So that was exciting, but so close. Maybe the Cowboys will get one of those plays into the end zone at one point this year. We'll see. Low percentage, very unlikely, but Cowboys have been close, very close to low key getting those getting touchdowns at the end of the half on just a return pick by Jordan Lewis in the end zone, and in this case a screen and reverse from CeeDee Lamb to Ezekiel Elliott. Might have been a forward lateral. Sorry, not reverse, a lateral. It might have been a forward lateral, but anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it today. Cowboys win. On to the Carolina Panthers to open the Eagles. Ooh, it's already Monday night. True. Ooh, I forgot about that. I don't know. I was confused. I don't know why I was confusing the schedule, but yeah, against the Eagles next week, Monday Night Football. Eagles, after a great week 1 win against Atlanta, now lost to the Niners. They made it close, but Jalen Hurts came back to earth. So Cowboys at home next week, Monday Night Football, got to take care of business just like they did today. And that's all we have here on this Cowboys postgame show here on Langer with Mike Live. As usual, if you enjoy my commentary, give me a big thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to my channel. Give me a follow on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I will be sure to live tweet games next time, obviously. Yeah, I'll always be here with pregame shows, postgame shows, Cowboys, Habs, you name it. You got it. And yeah, thanks so much for tuning in to this Cowboys postgame show here on Langer with Mike Live. Have an awesome evening. I look forward to seeing you again next time. Go Cowboys.